Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My dear students, Assalamu alaikum. This is lecture number 2 for the course Human Resource Management in Education, and today our topic of discussion is models and theories of human resource management. Today we are going to discuss Harvard theory and model of human resource management. The content we are going to discuss today, that is, what are models and theories, what is history of human resource management theory, what is Harvard theory and model, what are the components of Harvard framework, what is the significance of Harvard model, what are its limitations, and at the end we will discuss the conclusion. When we will complete this lecture, then all of you will be able to differentiate between the theory and the model. How will you explain the history of human resource management theory and model? And then you will be able to elaborate the 6 components of Harvard model, as well as you will be able to describe its significance and also its limitations. What is model and what is theory? Stoner and Friedman defines theory as it is a coherent group of assumptions put forth to explain the relationship between two or more observable facts and to provide a sound basis for predicting future events. If I explain the theory, a theory, it is a noun and it is supposition or a system of ideas intended to explain something, especially one based on general principles independent of the thing to be explained. We can also define a theory, a set of principles on which the practice of an activity is based. For example, a theory of education. Another definition we can make an idea used to account for a situation or justify a course of action. Then we move to the next slide. Now we go to the term model. The term model is very suitable for utilizing for a very clear and simple hypothetical statement or an illustration for deducing accurate conclusions and actions. In simple words, model is a thing used as an example to follow or imitate. For example, the project became a model for other schemes. Another definition, if it is used as verb, that is a fashion or shape, a three-dimensional figure or object in a malleable material such as clay or wax. For example, use the icing to model a house. Then another simple definition, it is used as an example to follow or imitate. For example, the research method will be modeled on previous work. Here, if we go to another explanation of the model, a three-dimensional representation of a person or thing or of a proposed structure, typically on a smaller scale than the original. Now, what next? Another definition of model is a model is an explicit or concrete part of the theory, whereas the theory is the implicit or abstract entirety of a model. You can say it is a difference between model and theory. Again, I explain it. A model is an explicit or concrete part of the theory, but the theory is the implicit or abstract entirety of a model. Now we go to the history of HRM theory. History of HRM theory was originated virtually in 1980. This theory was introduced in Harvard School by Harvard Analytical Framework. However, certain drastic changes occurred when machines and factory methods were introduced in early 1900s. Tyler, the father, Tyler was the father of scientific management, introduced several management principles. This is one kind of first theoretical approach for human resource management during that period. The second theoretical approach of human resource management is the Human Relations School developed by Mayo and Roethlisberger through their Hawthorne studies. Although the above theories are not classified as human resource management theories, but these theories had direct influenced the advancement in the human resource management theories. Now we go to what is Harvard model. This model was given by Beer in 1980. He explored the Harvard analytical framework for human resource management. Most of the later theories in human resource management were propounded on using certain elements of this Harvard analytical framework. This theory was base for other theories which were later on propounded. Therefore, it could be considered as the brainchild of other models and theories of HRM, means human resource management. Boxall and Beer from Harvard proposed the Harvard framework of human resource management, and this model was given in 1992. The belief of the Boxall and Beer for this theory was that it is a combination of systems as bureaucrats, markets, and plan approaches. This can remove the limitations of a single model and hence increase efficiency, innovations, and reliability towards the organization's strategies. What has been included in this model? This model includes the global development of business, the power of different stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders in this model? In this model, stakeholders were government, labor unions, management, and link corporate with human resource strategies. Hence, in this globalized world, where economics are fluctuating, technologies are advancing day by day, and customer demands are changing with the change of the society and with the passage of time, organizations are forced to adopt the Harvard model on a practical basis. Again, we can explain it that when this global world is changing, then economics is fluctuating, technologies are advancing, and customer demands are changing, then organizations have to follow the Harvard model on practical basis. Harvard School stresses two important points. First line managers have to accept more responsibility for ensuring the alignment of competitive strategy and adhere to human resource management policies. And the second point is that human resource in the organization should have a mission for fulfilling the objectives of the organization in a more coherent way. This model is composed of elements like mutual respect, mutual commitment, mutual responsibility, and it relies with teamwork approach and certain elements in soft view of human resource management. The Harvard framework for human resource management has 6 components. The components which have been discussed in Harvard model, these components are stakeholders' interest, situational factors, human resource policies, long-term consequences, human resource outcomes, and feedback loop. You can see in this diagram, very first there are stakeholders' interest. The stakeholders' interest are comprised of stakeholders, management, employee groups, then government, and then community. Then comes human resource policy talks. It includes employee influence, human resource flow, reward systems, work systems. On the bottom there is situational factors. The situational factors for the Harvard framework are characteristic, business strategy and conditions, management philosophy, labor market, union task, technology, laws and societal values. But on the other hand, human resource outcomes are commitment, competence, congruence, and effectiveness, whereas the long term consequences are individual well being, organizational effectiveness, as well as societal well being. The first component of the Harvard model is stakeholder interest. The model starts on the left with stakeholders' interest. As in the previous slide, you have seen that at the left side there was stakeholders' interest. The stakeholders' interest includes shareholders, management, employee groups, government, or they may be more. These interests define the human resource management policies. What are stakeholders? Stakeholders, it is an independent party with whom each of those who make a wager deposits the money or counters wagered, or it is a person with an interest or concern in something, especially a business. The second component of the Harvard model is situational factors. At the same time, situational factors influence these interests. Situational factors includes workforce characteristics as well as unions and all the other factors that were also listed in the 8-box model, which was previously explained. The third component of the Harvard model is human resource management policies. Situational factors and stakeholders' interest influence human resource management policies. These include the core human resource activities like recruitment, training, and reward system, the recruitment of the persons for the organization or an institute. After the recruitment, there comes the training of these persons, and then the reward system. The reward system is for the achieving of goals and objectives and maximum efficiency of any organization. The fourth component of Harvard model is human resource management outcomes. When everything is done in well manner, human resource management policies lead to positive human resource outcomes. The outcomes include previously mentioned retention, cost effectiveness, what is the commitment, and what is the competence. Then the fifth component of Harvard model is long-term consequences. These positive human resource outcomes lead to long-term consequences. The long-term consequences can be individuals, organizational, and societal. Now I explain some other things regarding Harvard model. The Harvard framework model is an human resource model that takes a more holistic approach to human resource, including different levels of outcome. One of the most significant assignment that includes the staff division is an association, that is human resources management. An organization is just prone to accomplish its goals if their representatives are utilized successfully. Simultaneously, arranging how best to utilize human resources will assist an association with achieving its targets and objectives. Human resource management has vital ramifications. It implies continually searching for better methods for utilizing representatives to profit the association or any organization. The Harvard Framework Model is one of the most significant human resource management model. Now we move to the next slide, that is significance of the Harvard model. The Harvard Framework Model is an human resource model that takes a more holistic approach to human resource, including different levels of outcome. Then the second point is the Harvard Framework for Human Resource Management is one of the most significant human resource model. The third point is it is based on the work of Paul and Richardson and creates a nonce on the models above in regards to how human resource operates. Then another significance for Harvard model is that there are various modifications done in the Harvard model from time to time to adapt to changing environment. As the environment is changing day by day, the world is becoming global, new inventions have been made, so the changes have been made in the Harvard model. The main objective is to resolve the problem of historical personal management of traditional and routine functions. Then comes what are the limitations of the Harvard model? Harvard model uses modern techniques and strategic functions, but the limitations of the model is that it ignores hard human resource management approach, which shows that there is a high chance of business failure. At the end, we go to the conclusion for Harvard model. I want to explain some things at the end of our lecture that human resource management can be defined as a way of deciding on the plans and intentions of an organization, looking at the relationship between employment and following human resource management processes and procedures within an organization. Development, recruitment, training, benefits, and employee relation plans, performance management, strategies, and procedures. These are considered in human resource management. This is an approach to human resource management that has the goal of using people most wisely with respect to strategic needs of the organization. It is a strategic way of managing the organization's most valued properties. The employees are individually and jointly contributing to the success and achievement of the organization's objectives. There are several models and theories of strategic human resource management. Among these are the best practice model and contingency model identified by Hope Halley in 1998. According to Mitchell Armstrong in his book titled A Handbook of Human Resource Management Practice, best practice model of strategic human resource management, otherwise known as outcome model, is a model that emphasizes commitment rather than the compliances and advocates processes of culture management to achieve cultural control of an organization. If we talk about Harvard model, this model explains that all organizations will record achievement in organization's performance provided they identity, gain commitment to, and put in place a set of human resource management practice. For example, reward practice. Now come up to this slide. If we sum up the Harvard model provides an analytical framework for studying human resource management. For example, situational factors and stakeholders. It also provides a characterization of human resource management that establishes variables and relationships to be researched. Then we can say that it helps to discover and understand the world for and planning the nature and significance of key human resources.